Welcome to the Nagual Zone. I am Anaam. Today we are talking about resources. Resources. Imagine that you are a Toltec apprentice and your benefactor or benefactors are very powerful beings, and one of them delivers a blow to your back between the shoulder blades, and your perception shifts, your assemblage point shifts. It's all mythology, by the way. Nothing like this ever happens or happened in real life. Yeah, that'll twist your knickers hearing that. And you find yourself in an alien world, a yellow world, or whatever, right? What would be your first concern? You do not have the power to wrench yourself back to ordinary reality as you know it. And you have no idea if your benefactors are coming to get you. What are you going to do? What you will do is you will wait. You'll wait and wait and wait. Oh, surely they won't abandon me here. Surely I'm not supposed to be living my life, my entire life in this alien world. Once you have gone through the waiting, the despair, and all of that, as a Toltec apprentice, you will remember the lesson your benefactor gave you, which is start gathering resources, right? Let's take a much more prosaic example. Imagine that you went hiking in the mountains and you got lost. There's no phone signal, right? Forgot to bring a compass with you. Phone doesn't work. Battery is dead. No way to charge it because you don't have any portable solar panels either. And you're just basically buggered. What would your first concerns be? Would you sit and meditate like Qui-Gon Jinn? Would you do that? Would you sit and meditate? What would you do? You'd start gathering resources. Twilight is coming. And you need to find the right spot for shelter. There's plenty of bad spots in the wild that you can pick that will make your life hell. And so before pitching your tent and your stuff, you better know what good spots are, right? Protected and so on and so forth. Protected from the elements, first of all. In other words, you would go about your business gathering resources. That would be your first priority in the beginning. The topic of resources is what makes the average man's consensus insanity world go round. Everything revolves around this word. Everything. Right up to the macro, the world, the countries, World Economic Forum, right down to families, individuals, inheritance, you name it. Gotta look after my family, man. The whole game is resources. If you are not proficient at these three things, gathering resources, maintaining the flow of resources, and protecting your resources, you will live, as I was saying to the attendees, this is part of a masterclass going on right now, and this is a little video which is part of it. I urge you to come and join us every Sunday. As I was telling them that if one is not proficient in these three stages, and you have to be proficient, I did a video called Proficiency, Expertise, Mastery. You have to at least get to proficiency level with gathering resources, maintaining the flow of resources, and protecting your resources. You can't just be proficient in any one of these and be happy about it. You'll still, as I was saying, you'll end up living half an incarnation, full of toil and needless toil and trouble. One of my favorite teachers, you can say, master teachers, that are go-to master teachers, called a gentleman called Reverend Ike. He used to say, maybe it's his own quote or someone else's, I don't know. He used to say, I'd rather cry in a Rolls Royce than trudging along on my rusty bicycle. And it took me many years for that to make sense, because you know what? I was infected by this virus that is bandied about in most religious circles, especially the Christian religious circles, and definitely in the New Age circles. And this virus is what Reverend Ike really fought against all his life, almost. And he was vilified for it by the very people he's trying to help. He was trying to empower the black community to rise up and be self-responsible for these three aspects: resource gathering, resource maintenance, resource protection. And they would say, oh, he's from the devil, he's asking us to love mammon, whatever the translation is. And he would get a lot of flack for it. Right? Trying to make his own, like, how? That's the level of ignorance that is prevalent even about something as basic as this. That's what a number the parasite and its minions can do on you and your community. Right? Warriors are not concerned with the average man's concerns, and this virus, basically the paradigm is poverty is spiritual. Poverty is somehow spiritual. I'm adding to my spiritual points. I'm going to level up faster if I don't have any money. The struggle, man. And death comes around and I can tell death, didn't I struggle? Didn't I give my last dollar to the beggar? See, I deserve heaven. I hope even by just highlighting this, you can see the toxic dysfunction and manipulation. All the while, these Christians, their churches getting richer and richer and richer. Where's all that wealth coming from? They don't have a minting press in the back, in the crypt, do they? No. Yeah, it's coming from you. I used to, when I was in a Christian cult, I would tithe 10% of the income. I feel very spiritual about it. And I continued that practice for many years afterwards. Then I started giving to a frickin' Hindu temple back in India, because someone told me that, oh, if you start giving to this temple, the deity will bless you with riches and he will be very happy. Is a deity called Murugan. In South India, it's worshipped as the Lord of wealth and all that. If you give to Murugan, he will bless you. And so the biggest temple of Murugan, I would send money from him in pounds. Feeling really great about it. Like, oh yeah, Murugan will bless me. Nothing happened. That temple and its priests just got richer and richer, and nothing ever happened. I had to unplug from this male god nonsense, plug into an all-powerful, omniscient, omnipresent female force that created this universe and existence. And that took many years to unbrainwash myself from that male god virus that is extremely damaging to the psyche. But once that brainwashing left, it took a long time, and I started really stepping into the flow of abundance that can only come from Shakti. In Sanskrit, there's a word called Shakti. It can only come from Shakti. That's when the money came. That's when I started becoming proficient in resource gathering. Now, in this world, the parasite has established something called money, which is a standardized exchange for goods. That's all it is, goods and services. Standardized exchange for goods and services called money. The very people who are getting rich off you will tell you the money is the root of all evil. Well, you thought up of this saying, did you? No. You heard it from someone who 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 heard it from someone. You know where it came from? The fucking priests who are getting rich off your back. And the politicians don't care, but the priests. The politician's going to get you anyway. Between the three goblins, the scientist, the politician, and the priest, you have a serious battle on your hands. You have to become proficient in gathering resources. In this world, that means money, because then you have financial power to exchange better quality goods and services. It gives you power to step up in trade. Get better food. Now you can start eating organic food, or biofood as it's called in Europe. Right? You can go to better restaurants to eat. You can hire a cleaner for your house and get on with doing what you need to do. All sorts of goods and services can be exchanged if you have currency. Now let me tell you something. I charge money. I charge money. Currency. I charge fees. It is all an electrical game, my friends. I charge you money. I exchange currency. And all the different variations of that. You have to understand that it is not so much of an energy game as a current game. The flow of current. The more charge you have in your intent to gather resources, the more resources will attract towards you. What does this mean in real life? Let's talk about real life. Now, we won't be able to talk about maintenance and protection because most people who are going to hear this video, watch this video, aren't even at the first stage. 99% of the 8 billion are not even at the first stage, and you're amongst them, aren't you? There is, as far as warriors are concerned, there's no such thing as a poor warrior, Toltec warrior. I was poor for decades. The only time I had any money was when I was working for other people. I just couldn't float my own boat in terms of making money. It really did take unplugging from this male god nonsense that'll keep you in servitude all your life. That's why you call them the Lord. What will that make you then? The servant, the serf. Yeah. With the goddess, if you switch to a all-powerful female force that governs existence and looks after you, loves you and looks after you and protects you and makes you thrive, you will have your neuro-linguistic programming, you will hypnotize yourself into a very abundant state of existence. That is not possible with a male god paradigm as a mechanism. All you will do is compete, and the male god paradigm is power over. That's the whole thing about the male god thing. The goddess is power with, along with. Most of you are not even at the first stage. So let's deal with that. How do you go about making resource gathering a reality in your life? There are certain ways that warriors do it. The way I did it, and the way I teach my apprentices, is you have to find out what you're good at. The average, you go to these workshops, New Age workshops, and they will help you to find your passion. Find your passion. Yeah, but no one's making money out of finding their passions. Go to a Tony Robbins workshop, 10 grand, and one evening, and you do, hey, hello, and you are amazing, telling each other, and just nonsense that doesn't work at all. All that happens is, isn't he kind of like a priest? You don't get nothing, but he makes a lot of money, doesn't he? Now, granted, the man himself is full of integrity. I believe so. That is my reading of it. But his trade is, I wouldn't pay him at all. In fact, I would say you need to become my apprentice, mate. That's what I would say to that guy. He never will. It's too big for me. But that it stands. You don't want to be faffing about with finding your passions. Okay? Your passions never made you any money. If they did, they would have done by now. What you want to do is find out and accept, own up, accept what you're good at. Let me give you an example of what I mean. So let's say that there's a lady who asks me, Anaam, I have watched your video on resource gathering, and what do I do? I want to find my passion and I will make my living out of it. And I will say, okay, you can keep finding your passion, but meanwhile, what are you good at? She says, well, I don't know. I am very good at admin. That's why I'm secretary in this job. I am this, I am that. And then through some digging around, we find that she makes amazing chocolate chip cookies. She's done it since she was a little child. It's nothing for her. She makes them regularly. Her friends love them. She loves them. Whenever it's someone's birthday, she brings all her friends look forward to receiving a nice tin of Ella's chocolate chip cookies, homemade, warm, delicious. She doesn't see anything of it because she's done it all her life. And I say to her, do you know why you're poor? Do you know why why you are just a mere secretary and not the boss? Because you're not letting those chocolate chip cookies make money for you. Oh, but Naam, that's too easy. I've always done it. That surely, I can just maybe sell some of them. No, you don't understand. That's where your money is. That's where your resource gathering is going to come from. Your passion can wait. You're already qualified. You don't have to do any courses in chocolate chip cooking. You don't have to do anything. It's right there for you. Monetize this. Make a business out of this. And watch what happens. You will never work for anyone ever again. and give yourself 2 years to develop this business. What does that lady need to get going? In this world, once you have figured out what you're good at, naturally, what you were born doing, or rather, it's like you wouldn't even think about that as my passion. Maybe you're just great at fixing cars, but that's, you want to actually become an architect or something. Fine, you keep faffing about with your architecture, but your money is in fixing cars. That's where your resource gathering is. Maybe you love to cut your friend's hair. All your friends, oh no, I couldn't charge money. It's just for my friends. I just like cutting hair. I've always done it. I've been doing it since I was doing it to my dolls when I was a little girl. Good, that's where your money is. You gotta learn to monetize that. It's not what is my life's passion? Why am I here? Yeah, that's fine. Take the next 50 years to answer those questions. But meanwhile, figure out what you're good at already. You're good at listening to people, your friends will come dump on you. Monetize that. Monetize that. That's where the money is. Oh, but I couldn't charge for that, Anaam, surely. Yes, you could. Ever heard of shrinks? All they have is a stupid little stamped paper called "I am now a shrink." And these people are worse than worthless. A priest confession in a church will do more for your mental health than going to these people. Psycho the rapists. They are absolutely useless. They will bandage your psyche, but you will never get anywhere with these people, except pay them a lot of money. But why not you? Your friends come to you. You don't have to charge them, but you can start a business. And you need capital. This is where people trip up. Go work, do waitressing job, whatever you need to do. Be a secretary or whatever. But that strategy is you're gonna set a number that is realistic for you, and that's your capital. You're gonna use that capital to float your what you're good at as a business. That may take 2 years, take 5 years, but it'll be a lot easier for you to stick at hard jobs because you now have a plan. Oh, I'm busy gathering capital. And then, I show my apprentices how to use that capital, and money as an issue disappears for them in due course of time. This is where you start. You cannot spend your entire life working for other people. Really, there's no money in it. There's no money in it. You may think there is money in it, but it is half a life. You're spending your precious energy and resources, time, to make someone else's dreams come true. And oops, time isn't on a rewind. You can't rewind time and just start all over again. Can't do it. So better have a plan, and you have to get self-employed. Another pandemic or plandemic or scamdemic hits. Parasite has many tricks up its sleeve, and all of them are coming. You better be successfully self-employed. You'll have a much better chance at not having a very hard life. This is what warriors aim for. This is, if you are thrust into an alien world right now, a Toltec warrior would go find employment, but all the while knowing this is only temporary, because as soon as I have the relevant capital, I'm gonna float my own business, start trading for goods and services. That's where the money is. That's where you can generate resources, maintain resources, and then learn to protect resources. If you're working for other people, all three are done for you. Warriors don't rock like that. You can rock like that. Average man is happy being a slave, a serf. Good for you. You'll never have to think for yourself. But for those of you who are interested in financial freedom, personal freedom, come up with a strategy. Get a job. If you don't have a job, get a job. Stop sucking at the teats of the parasite. Get a job. Stop depending on your girlfriend to be paying your rent or your mom or something. Get a job. And then have a strategy. Stick with that job. It might be a horrific job. Fine, stick with it. And get capital. Once that capital is in your hands, 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, whatever it is, then learn how to monetize what you're already good at using that capital. Now, here's the last thing before I wrap the video up. There's a classic mistake. One of my apprentices made that mistake just this week in a session. Your capital isn't spending money. It's untouchable till the time you use it to invest in float your business. It's not for renting. It's not for your rent money. Oh, I don't have any money. Oh, well, let me just take some out of my capital. I'll put it back in next month. Yes, I will. No, you won't. No, you won't. Next month you'll take more out, won't you? Yeah. So your savings are a whole different thing. All right? Your savings are not your capital. Don't make that. You make that mistake, you might as well not bother. Just keep happily working for other people and die eventually, whenever your time is. Okay? But don't make that mistake. Savings and capital are two very different things. There are many other tips and many other guidances that I give to the apprentices. This is a big topic: resource gathering, maintenance, protection. And cannot just do it all in one video. However, at least a starting point has been given to you, and a perspective has been offered to you that may help you navigate your life from here on out as concerns money. On that note, let me know what you think in the comments about this. I shall see you next week. Walk in freedom. Farewell.